All right, let's get started here. All right, so everybody, thank you so much for joining the VPM monthly webinar. We appreciate you guys so much, whether you are a client or not a client. Just love the fact that you guys are spending 30 minutes of your day. We make the presentation about 23 minutes, some time for questions, and we do 23-minute presentations on purpose. When I built Empire Industries, we had 23 remote team members, 10 people in the US. This was way back when, before the pandemic, right? Before the world changed. And so we literally ran 900 homes, all single family homes with about 33 people. 23 of them were all down in Mexico, and he did all of our work. So we were one of the early adopters on elevating what remote team members can do. Um, and then, so I want to introduce this. So that's us. So thank you so much for being here for our short presentation. So Zach Murray is president co-founder of Utility Profit. So Zach, I'm going to let you take it from here. Go ahead and why don't you go through a couple of slides? I think the next slide's my intro. We can just move forward, move on that.
Sure.
And there you go. Take it away, buddy. Oh,
Hey,
by the way,
everybody.
as Zach is doing his presentation, if you have any questions, just throw it into the chat and I will get the questions to Zach.
Yeah, thanks for doing that, Pete. And thanks everybody for joining. Um, it's going to be fun to talk about utilities and talk about how to make a little extra money from it and just streamline your process. So a little bit of background info on me. So I, right out of college, started a food delivery company. We had 50,000 drivers, 50,000. So we were the second largest employer in the state of Texas. We had sold that company to HEB Grocery about 7 years ago, and then I got into real estate. So the last 7 years, I've been doing all different things, all inside of technology and single family residential space specifically, and learned some really cool ways to use automation to solve problems, and help properties. And a lot of this effort has all been around me being a renter originally and realizing it was a bad experience in some ways and trying to think of how to improve that. And then me always being a business operator, trying to think about how I can make it as good as possible for the business operators. Um, I'm a dad of two. I got two crazy little ones running around the house. I was just telling Pete we just got back from a flight last night, so um, it's always fun chasing them down in the airport. Uh, this is a quick overview of what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about processes around the move-in day and what we have figured out as a great piece of that of making it very easy for tenants to set up utilities and then giving you visibility that those services were set up so that when the person gets to the home, they have a nice smooth process. So one thing that I found really interesting is we took a poll and asked property managers how who requires that tenants give confirmation that utilities were set up before getting the keys. And you can see some of the responses here. 81% overwhelmingly, the answer is just about everybody says it. I like one of these responses that says, I intend to require it before the tenants move in. Sometimes I haven't, and I regret it every time, which I think speaks to the point of this of like, why do you want to get confirmations? Why do you need to have, ensure that these things are set up? Well, if they aren't, maybe it's winter time, you get a frozen pipe burst because the electricity wasn't on. Or maybe the electricity isn't on and then the tenant has to move in and the HVAC system isn't running and it's ridiculously hot in a place like Texas. And tenants just forget to do this. They have so many things that are going on um, with their move-in. And typically, when confirmations are getting collected, this is happening over email. Uh, Very few people are using a software to automate these processes. What I found from working with a lot of tenants is you need to send them multiple reminders to do things. You need to have a system to be able to get all that information stored in one place so it's nice and easy, and email is not the best solution for that. So the solution that we've built for it that um, is in our opinion a lot better is a system that allows you to just connect your property management software. Takes like 3, 4 minutes to do, and then you just set it and forget it. It's all automated. And what it will do is it will keep track of all of the upcoming move-ins that you have, and then it will nudge renters to set these things up. And it gives tenants a really good flow that is all white labeled and branded for your company. And then tenants go in, they see, okay, I have to get water, electricity, gas, sewer, trash, and even have the ability to purchase internet through it. And all of these services are confirmed for the address, which is great. So uh, talking through even just like the internet today, without something like this, tenants might not even know what service is their home, and they might have to go Google around and try to figure it out, kind of left in the dark. But this will actually tell them what is wired specifically for their home, and aggregate everything, giving transparency to it. And you can
Zach,
see,
quick question. Is
yeah,
this available in Canada as well
uh,
or just the US?
only the US right now. Yeah, maybe one day we'll be able to get utilities set up in Tokyo and beyond, but for now we're just in the US.
Thank you.
And yeah, and if people have questions about this too, happy to jump in and talk about it as I run
Yep.
through it.
I'll as they ask questions, I'll kind of interrupt you like I just did. So
Great. Okay, and then just in this portal you could see it will have a check mark for each one of the services that have been set up. And then it will have a little clock if it hasn't been done yet. And then it will say non-applicable if it's not. For instance, like not all your homes are going to be gas. Um, and then you can click in, you can actually see the details and the confirmation IDs for it. Um, and then one of the other parts that's nice is certain utility companies as well as telecom companies will pay to have tenants set up on those services. And then we will be able to turn this process, though it's just a cumbersome thing where you had to kind of manage it all, to being something that will turn into a little bit of a profit center. And $30 to $75 per move-in is what we're seeing when tenants buy internet, and then certain deregulated electricity and other utilities like gas in certain places. So really nice to be able to turn this money. The average property manager, when they turn this on, is going to earn a couple extra $1,000 a year for those homes. And the tools don't cost anything at all. I mean, that's one of the other parts that's pretty incredible on the money side. The software is completely free, doesn't cost anything at all to use it, and there's no contracts.
Zach, we got another question here. The services confirmed part, is that found through your platform or by what they have entered in the system, in our system, what we have entered in our system?
Good question. So, most of it is happening from self-reported stuff where you can turn it on so that the tenant has to provide a screenshot of the confirmations, and then it will pull through the confirmations. But we're getting more and more connections directly with the utility providers every day. So, long term, it's all gonna get driven by the providers directly.
Excellent. And then so how do they get tagged to for the financial piece of it where they get money back from the from you guys? How does that work? And is that just ACH? And then can they see how like can they see reporting on that?
Yeah, good question. So, uh, it's a little small of a graphic, but what's great is the money will get brought into your account. You'll have reporting of that, and it's a lot like Venmo, where the money will sit in your account, and then you can choose where you want to get it deposited to, and you'll be able to connect your bank and get that set up one time, and then you're good to go. Just transfer right to you, which makes it very easy.
All right. Does anybody have any other questions? And Zach, you got more time, so if you want to throw more stuff on there,
Okay,
talk
cool. Yeah,
about
I
it.
mean just a little bit more about the platform and how it's getting used. So, um we uh we found that, this is just a tool that makes so much sense because it's so easy inside of the spirit of automation just this quarter alone, there's been over 300 property managers around the country that have turned this on, and it's growing every day. Um, we're getting awesome response from property managers when we ask about, you know, what how they like it. Everyone's been liking it. We've got our own in-house engineering and product development team. So as people are requesting different features, we're building actively. And I had mentioned it, but just to highlight it again. So tenants will receive the information to set these services up, and you can kind of see what it looks like here on the right. It will say, "Hey, do these things in order to move in and get the keys for the place." And right above it, it will have a logo, and it will be your logo. So this experience that's really good is all white labeled, and and I think it's an important thing because the move-in day really sets the tone for the rest of the relationship with the tenant. And also, we have asked tenants how they like the tool as they're using it, and we've had thousands of tenants fill this out, and it's over I think it's like a 4.6 star from renters on how they like it. And this is setting up utilities, this is kind of a boring subject matter for tenants. So the fact that they like it, I think is really good. And it might even be a great opportunity around the move-in to be able to ask them for reviews on Google, knowing that property owners go there to try to figure out if they should work with your property management company. Happy tenants could be a good way to help boost some more of those
Got
reviews.
got two more questions here. Are you a Appfolio Stack partner? Are you integrated with their API?
So this tool works directly with Appfolio. Um, we're not in the Stack Exchange, but we have another method of having it work seamlessly with Appfolio. And interestingly, I think there's about half of our customers use Appfolio. So if you're using Appfolio, it works really nice.
And then where are you, what's the percentage you see that residents, what's the conversion rate of residents doing when they get this, when they get the app or the text or whatever it is?
Yeah, so it's pretty high rates. It varies a little bit just depending on how I guess the strictness of of the policy, if it's really going to be like, hey, you have to do this, for key exchange, or if it's a bit more lax. But I've been seeing about 75 to 80% of the tenants filling it out, which is pretty high. Some definitely there's many groups that have 100% completion on the forms. But I think some tenants they're just tired. So, but the tool does a really good job about explaining everything and guiding them through the process. I truly think it's as good as it can be, and even inside of that, we offer full support. So if tenants have questions about anything, they can chat with us over text or call, and we can help walk them through anything that they might be hung up on.
How quick is the turnaround from when the tenant starts to having everything set up and having confirmation?
What I see sometimes is like the tenants will chip away at it. Maybe they'll start with electricity, get that done, then do water, and then do gas. But um, what's cool is that at the moment that the tenant gets approved for the property and is kind of moving into those next steps, it will kind of put them into a communication sequence. And as it gets closer to the move-in, we'll send a little bit more nudges to do so. So you'll be able to see what the move-in date is, and then see how those things are getting set up. And sometimes tenants procrastinate and they kind of wait closer to the move-in date, and then we see other people getting it done with ample time ahead of time. But yeah, they set it up a little bit differently depending on how they're doing it, but we uh we see them typically get it done same day.
What needs to be done, like for onboarding? As for the property management company, what kind of heavy lift does it take to get onboarded and to get started?
So what we do is if someone has under 100 doors, they just go straight through a sign up flow on their own. It's like a 5-minute sign up process where they will connect their property management software, tell us where the active homes are on their website, and we use that information to get the account all synced. You'll invite your teammate, and then it just kind of gets magically working in the background, and they'll just connect a bank account when you want to get paid. For people that have over 100 doors, just out of making sure that um, if you have extra team members or more questions, people will typically book a demo. Um, it's just like a quick conversation to go into more detail about this. But then they'll go through the same sign up flow. So it's fast. It's like you can be done getting everything done and just you know really as long as I think 15 minutes to get the account all set up, but it's a one-time thing, and it's really easy to do. And
And I
we've even built some like videos and stuff where you can kind of click through and be like, okay, cool. I mean, it's like it's so basic. You'll kind of laugh about how easy it is to get set up.
and I put the demo link in the webinar chat. So it's utilityprofit.com/demo. If you want to, is that the sign up link? The utility.com/demo?
Yeah, yeah. So it
Mhm.
will exactly like it will guide you through either the self sign up flow or to book a quick demo and get your account set up.
Okay. Another question is, how is the revenue generated back to the PM? It's just when they sign up, they set up their bank account, their ACH, and then what is it paid out quarterly or is it annually? What how or weekly? How do you guys
It
pay them out?
it, it will happen. So as the telecommunication and utility providers are paying us, then we'll pay it out in real time. It just has to flow through the platform. So, uh, you know, typically the timing on it is it takes about 30 days after the move in, more or less, for the monies to get paid out.
Got it. And then you did say this. There is actually reporting. Like so if you go to your login on the site, you can actually see all the reporting to people who signed up, the houses, and how much you got from them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You'll be able to kind of get a bird's eye view of everything that's going on right on the platform.
I got another question here. Are there move out services to cancel their utilities?
Good question. Yeah, so the part of the process that we are going to be working on, within our roadmap will be all of the move out related pieces and the whole property turn. Right now, it's focused mostly on the incoming tenants and the activations, but we're going to be doing some more stuff in the future on the outgoing tenants and the vacancy period.
All right, we got time for some final questions. Anybody has anything? Got one? Is there a video to watch the process so we are educated before offering it to a tenant?
Mm, yeah, yeah. So we have some demo videos about how it works, and I can share that with you, Pete. I guess if you want, or if you want inside of the demo, just ask for it, and we'll send you some video of what the tenant's view is.
Excellent. All right, you mind hitting the next slide for me or
Sure,
the final slide for me?
you bet.
All right, so we have our next webinar scheduled already. So if you're interested, we are meeting with Lead Simple. It's called Metrics to Meaning, and it's basically the top three metrics that you need to look at for your processes to know that if your processes are are healthy. So if you have time or you can click on that and that QR code, and you can scan on that, and you can get registered for that. And we do try to make these, around 23 to 30 minutes. We do have a couple more minutes. If anybody has a couple of final questions for Zach, we can jump on there. And I told Zach so many times that it's like you got to be quick. That he did his like presentation like 12 minutes. So
I know I took you up on that, Pete.
you
We cut
sure did,
cut all
man.
my slides, you know?
You sure
He's like,
did.
23 minutes. Zach, you gotta come up with some more content for these 8 minutes. No, I know everyone's time's valuable, and I mean it's a simple product, which is great. And I think we're able to cover a lot of ground quick.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for joining us today, and thank you for the questions. Really appreciate it. Please scan and register for our next month. Lead Simple is become a good pal, a good another partner of us. Oh, we do have one last one, right? We're gonna get one right in the wire. I think you said how to reach out to learn more or get started, but can you repeat? Do you have another slide on that, Zach, for how
Yeah,
to?
yeah,
Yep.
sure. So I'll show you.
And I'm going to go ahead. If you go into chat, you can also the chat has the link for the demo, and I'm going to go ahead and answer that one. Uh,
Yeah, so you'll just yeah, exactly, the chat that Pete's sharing, and you'll just type in how many doors you have, and it will guide you through a link to sign up, or talk to someone from our team if you want to dig in that way and just get any more pieces of information before you turn it on. Um, and yeah, so easy process there. Pete, do you want me
all
to
right.
share the QR code again for everybody
If you don't mind,
for your college
for the
Jordan?
last second. Yep, perfect. So right there is a QR code for next month. Thanks again, everybody, for joining. We really appreciate you and appreciate the love of joining the webinar. We're really excited about that, and we hope to bring some great content. And we think we do have some with Lead Simple. All right, everybody. Well, take care. Zach, thanks so much for taking time out and teaching us all a little bit more about utility profit and how we can actually make a little bit more money as a PM.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
All right, everybody.